Hey everyone, John here, and today we are checking out Sonic X Shadow Generations, which is available October 25th, and a huge thank you to Sega for sponsoring this video. So what exactly is this? Well, this is a compilation of Sonic Generations, one of the highest rated Sonic games of all time, remastered in 4K 60fps, and also Shadow Generations, a brand new game. Brand new levels, brand new story, focusing on revisiting Shadow's history across his entire lifespan. So if you're someone who is looking forward to Sonic Movie 3 and wants to learn more about Shadow, this is where you'll get most of those details. You'll re-experience beats of Adventure 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog in 06, and even more parts of Shadow's legacy. So let's begin with the new one, Shadow Generations. So we'll dive into a level in just a second, but this kind of area should be very familiar for those who have played Sonic Frontiers. So the hub in Shadow Generations is basically an open zone. You're able to explore and get little bonus goodies and just do whatever you like between zones. You can also play around with Shadow's new powers. For instance, he can surf. He can just touch the water and begin to surf around. Or you can find these Black Arms enemies, launch them in the air, and then just shoot them wherever you want to and teleport to where they go. So there's a lot of diversity to what Shadow can do in this game, and it makes him really fun and expressive to play with. So there's Rail Canyon there. Let's find another level, though. I can just show you the scope of this sort of open zone area. So if we go back to the first level, you see we're running through quite a few different parts of the level to get back here. It really is quite vast. And it really makes Shadow's campaign feel very different to Sonic's. But here's the Space Colony Arc, so let's dive straight into this. This will be one of the first levels you play in the game. And what's great about all these levels is they give you a sense of nostalgia for what the past delivered, while also being its own thing. And Sonic Generations is great at that too. But you get things like sound effects in this level, which sound just like they're from the Dreamcast era, while everything else just feels so modern. And something that I love about all these zones is they're very wide. There's lots of different alternate routes going on. So for those who want to freely explore, you'll find many opportunities. I could have gone straight forward then, but I opted to turn left and go over here. I can see there's a path right above me that I could have taken as well. In fact, I might try and take that path again now by going like that. There you go. So there's lots of room to explore. It's not just about going fast. There is strategy to the speed. And I recommend that everybody try and play their own way, whether you want to explore, whether you want to go fast. The game allows you to do it all. I also like that you can homing attack on rails now. It's just a nice quality of life difference. But yeah, Shadow's got quite a few different moves to Sonic. Chaos Control is one of them. So that meter over there, down right there, I can freeze time, and then use these as platforms, and skip that entire section. And we can make use of it again here, where we can just freeze all of those, and not take any damage. Your meter fills up whenever you take down enemies, but you also get these capsules, which will just fill it straight up. Yeah, you see that? You can just go through all of these areas. And it's so fun to speedrun and just find different ways to play every level. Shadow Generations levels are also quite long, I found. In a good way. It just feels like they flow very well for a long period, which probably longer than most other Sonic games. And we're going to need another capsule. There's also great animations in Shadow's campaign. Like there's a tuck and roll, which I really love, that's coming up in just a moment. But we can freeze that, shoot the missile back, and cause a giant explosion. Oh, watch this roll. Watch this tuck and roll in just a second. Look at this. God, love it. That's a nice tuck and roll. It's really nice to have Shadow back in the spotlight. I've always loved Shadow. Adventure 2 was a very special game to me. And for those who want to watch the Sonic movie, but don't really feel like they know Shadow, this really is the ultimate entry point to do so. Because not only are you getting a reintroduction to Shadow's history, but also, I love this by the way, because Shadow's homing attack is different. He like teleports beyond those, you don't take any damage. So there's not only a reintroduction to Shadow and all of his plot points, but also you get like brand new bits of Shadow lore as well. So it's not only reminding you of Shadow, but it's expanding beyond everything you thought you knew about him. Here we go. God, this is so nostalgic. The music especially. The music in this game just absolutely bangs. And we'll look into Sonic Generations a bit as well, because while it is a remaster of an older game, there's still lots of new things to see in there, especially for those who have never played the game before. You're getting the ultimate experience here. But this is Black Doom. Those who played Shadow the Hedgehog will be very familiar with Black Doom. He causes many problems for Shadow. Diabolical little eye man. The levels just flow into each other like that. Like, this is a completely different stage. It's based on a different stage, but there's no loading point. We just seamlessly went in. Story also happens on the fly as well for many of these levels. Like, there are dedicated cutscenes, but I love how it implements both gameplay and story together like this, which is just swell. And seeing all these buildings just curving all around you. It's a lovely artistic style. Look at all these different paths you can take as well. Like, we're ignoring that entire section there. There's a rail that's swooping around. Can we go on that? Yeah, look at that. Seamless. Are we going to get another cool tuck and roll? Not quite, but I like this animation too. God, the music. So good.
The promised time will arrive once more.
Do you think Black Doom talks like that all the time? Like, does he ever just decide to have a silly voice every now and then? We've all got to talk silly every now and then, Black Doom. So I'm going to use these Doom Spears to stun all these enemies. Hit them all with Black Doom. There's a lot of stuff you can do for Shadow's combat that isn't just homing attacking. I really appreciate that.
So what I was tracking was him.
And look at this. This level took around 5 minutes. Which is, like, that's just great for 3D Sonic. Very few levels are this long while maintaining this level of great pacing. And there we go, we've got an S for that. So let's dive into a Sonic level now, and then we'll dive back to Shadow and back to Sonic. So, for those who played Sonic Generations on 360 or PlayStation 3, just watch this a second. We're done. We're in. It loads so quickly. Now, I find that Sonic Generations has quite a distinct feel to Shadow Generations. This one is a bit more about verticality rather than just the horizontal wideness of a level. And unlike Shadow Generations, which has both a 3D act and a 2D act, Sonic kind of merges the two. So every now and then you'll go from 3D to 2D, although you also have Classic Sonic, who we'll look at a bit more later, who plays more like the Mega Drive or Genesis games. But there's just such a great flow to both of these games, and there's a bunch of different routes you can take, much like Shadow, and a lot of things to react to. But I'm sure a lot of us have played Sonic Generations numerous times, and for those, here's something brand new. The Drop Dash! And I love using this in 2D sections especially, because you can really keep your flow up. This originated in Sonic Mania, but also it's been in things like Sonic Origins and Sonic Forces, and also Sonic Frontiers. It's kind of hard to imagine Sonic without the Drop Dash at this point. Oh, missed the red ring over there. But there's just so many iconic set pieces to Sonic Generations. Obviously that kind of stuff was never in the original Green Hill, but it's reimagined it to be something entirely new. I definitely recommend this for those who grew up with Sonic and like want their kids to experience it. So if you played the Mega Drive titles growing up or the Dreamcast titles growing up, and you've got kids now, this is your way to like show them those old levels and ideas while keeping everything feeling and looking modern. Especially for those who've just watched the movie and want to like experience a Sonic game for the first time. As you can see, I only found 2 out of 5 red rings so far. So I've missed out on a ton. There's lots of reasons to come back and explore this level. Let's do a little drop dash through here. keep the speed up. It's going to be really interesting to see how speedruns differ between the original generations and the Sonic X Shadow version, with how the drop dash can just keep your momentum going on the fly. I love the drift too. That's something unique to Sonic. Shadow gets things like Chaos Control and spears, but Sonic can drift. And we're nearing the end of Green Hill. Yeah, we missed out on 2 of them, so there's definitely reason to come back and play Green Hill again. And you know, I've been playing Sonic Generations since it came out in, what, like 2011? And to this day, it's just a comfort game that I love coming back to and playing more. But anyway, let's go back to Shadow a moment. Alright, let's do another level. We're doing Sunset Heights from Sonic Forces, and I find this one fascinating, because Sonic Forces in itself is a pretty modern game. Like, you can play that right now on Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. So how do they manage to bring it back again while making it feel new? And I'll spoil it for you now. They manage it. They make this feels very distinct from the original Sonic Forces. Very different level design, while still keeping the core beats. Like, you've still got background enemies, the Death Head robots causing havoc. But the actual level design itself is very different to what Sonic Forces was doing. Well, there's a route up there I could have taken, but didn't quite manage. We've got Chaos Control now, which I think there's a few opportunities that we can use that in. I'm going to hold off for a second, because there's one here that I like using. So these enemies here shoot projectiles, and we're going to use those as platforms to get over to a collectible. There you go. Beautiful. We also could have used it here to get past these spikes easily. So there's so many different avenues for different players, whether you want to go and collect things or just play through a level as smoothly as possible. We've got another one, so I could slow down time here and avoid all these boulders, but I feel pretty content in my ability to get past this without that. So we'll save it for another time. There's also some really dynamic shifts from gameplay to set piece, which I think we'll see in just a second. Like this here. Watch this. Wah! Just use them as a rail. Stunning. Oh, another tuck and roll. We love a tuck and roll. And I'm going to freeze him here. Oh, there you are. And we're going to use this alternate route, which I don't think I've been this way before. Didn't need Chaos Control. Oh, no! That's what gets me. All those spikes, no problem. But one little enemy. Alright. Oh, no! Not again! Is he still frozen? Just about. I'm not sure I'm going to make that. Yeah, I messed that one up. That could have been really smooth if it weren't me. It's really nice hearing the music remix too. It has the instrumentation that Forces use, but it's not the same. Look at that. Mr. Eyeball Man, he's back. And then the shift to this song again. Seamless. So we're out of boost, need some more rings. Here we go, just what we needed. So we can use L1 and R1 to shift around. I'm going to stop boosting because we're very low. There we go, we're back up. I'm going to jump into that spring. Oh, there's another route up here. Can I make that from here, or is that somewhere else that I should have gone? Just about. And we can go... Let's see, what's the best? That way? Yeah, nice. I love finding just new paths. I never took that one before. Whoop. It's okay, we're still good. Doing fine. Don't panic, everyone. Oh no! What did I just say? That never happened. Which one of you panicked? I know it was one of you. Alright. I think we're approaching the end of this level now. We can't use Chaos Control in this area either. Black Doom has blocked us. So we've got to rely on our own abilities. Which we can do. We're fine. In fact, we've never lost a game before in my life. Here we are. This is better. Oh, I want off this ride. Okay, we're good. He deserves that. There we are, back in Forces. And we did it! Died a couple of times in that one. So you definitely have to pay attention. But there we go. And let's show off classic Sonic as well. I think it's going to make excellent use of the drop dash. And again, those who played on PlayStation 3 and 360, look at this. An instantaneous switch. So what makes Sonic Generations so special is it remakes every act in either classic or modern. So even if you're used to classic Sonic from the Mega Drive, these levels still are basically entirely distinct to what you remember. There's some familiarity in there, but for the most part, these are new levels. They remix components you love. Look at that. Look at this drop dash. Yep. Look at them go. I love the drop dash, especially for classic Sonic. Just keeps things feeling so flowy. And the actual spin dash is just nuts in Sonic Generations. It's so good. And we use the drop dash to deal with this guy. The drop dash really does come into its own with classic. Can I make this? Just about. We'll drop dash here. Oh no! And we're gonna go whoosh. Oh, a Chow! That's something else that's brand new to this version of Sonic Generations. There's some Chow to find in every level. So you get red rings and Chow. Lots of different collectibles to find. Look at him go. Oh, missed the red ring! If I jump off. Yeah, there we go. We found one. 1 of 5. Very nice. Use the drop dash to get a bit of speed. Might need a spin dash for that one. Look at that. And there we go. So that is Sonic Generations X Shadow Generations, or Sonic X Shadow Generations. I wish I could just sit down and play the entire game with you guys, but there is a lot you need to experience yourself. If you've never played Sonic Generations before, you are in for one of the greatest games of all time. But even if you have, you've got Shadow Generations, an entirely new Sonic game, but also remixed elements of Sonic Generations, like the drop dash. You can also get Chow in every level, and there's some rewritten dialogue. So there's lots of surprises in store for even veterans. And of course, the Sonic Movie 3 is coming up, where Shadow is a huge component, and I really do recommend picking this up before watching that movie so you can fully appreciate the source material for that character. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I will catch you another time. Bye.